Right before your very eyes, a counter-government is forming, basing its control of your fellow citizens on content guidelines, vague hate speech punishment, and an emerging social credit system in a direct violation to our Bill of Rights. And this new Silicon Valley technocracy is only getting started.
I can tell you millions of Americans, I can tell you millions of Texans believe that big tech companies are actively censoring the speech of American citizens and are silencing the voices of conservatives. One of the frustrating things about this issue is there's almost no transparency. There are almost no public data to assess if that's accurate or not. So my question is Google analyzing the question? Is Google actually looking, not your own personal experiences searching, but are you assessing it empirically? Upon what data do you make testimony in this committee that Google is not favoring in its search results one party over another or one candidate over another?
As the Chief Privacy Officer of Google, this is not within my core domain.
More than twice as many employees at Google have protested working with the U.S. military than have protested creating a censored search engine for China.
Senator, I take a great deal of pride in the fact that Google is an organization that allows employees to voice their opinions, and we're continued to work with the United States government, the Department of Defense in certain areas, including cybersecurity, healthcare, and productivity. But we are focusing on making sure that our collaborations with the government are consistent with our core values.
TechCrunch reported on former Google research scientist Jack Poulson, who rose a red flag concerning Google's Project Dragonfly. Poulson stated, as has been widely understood by human rights organizations, investigative reporters, Google employees, and the public, Project Dragonfly directly contradicts the AI principle's commitment to not design or deploy any technology whose purpose contravenes widely accepted principles of human rights.
Google decided in March of 2010 to shut down its operations in China. At the time, Google released a statement that said, quote, "We want as many people in the world as possible to have access to our services, including users in mainland China. Yet the Chinese government has been crystal clear throughout our discussions that self-censorship is a non-negotiable legal requirement." Despite taking this principled stand in 2010, it's been reported last month that Google has been secretly developing a search engine for China as part of a project known as Dragonfly. Are those reports accurate?
There is a Project Dragonfly.
And it's focused on a search engine in China, is that accurate?
There is no, we are not close to launching.
In your opinion, does China engage in censoring its citizens?
As the privacy representative for Google, I'm not sure that I've had I'm not sure that I have an informed opinion on that question.
I am disturbed, though, by reports that Google is currently working on a search engine for China that would conform with the rigid censorship requirements of the Chinese regime. What's even more troubling is that the search engine would apparently link users' searches to their personal phone numbers, both making it easier for the Chinese government to track and monitor its citizens and to develop their so-called social credit scores, where citizens can be denied any number of things from travel to access to school. 14 leading human rights organizations have called on your company to cease its work on this search engine, and a number of our colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans, have called on Google to provide additional answers to Congress. Yet the company has yet to provide those answers. How will Google square its stated privacy values with this flawed Chinese search engine and the very real possibility that it may be used to repress human rights?
I am aware of the reporting that you reference, and I will say that my understanding is that we are not, in fact, close to launching a search product in China. And whether we would or could at some point in the future remains unclear.
Mr. Knight, I'm very concerned about how people in China and other places where there are oppressive regimes will have access to technology that may change their lives, shift their lives when millions of people are imprisoned in political camps, internment camps, re-education centers because of their minority status or because of their religion. Churches are being bulldozed. I think it's very important that we have an open internet and that we continue that and that we use this great tool of freedom and democracy around the globe, and we have those values in U.S. Available to to humans around the globe to provide and promote human dignity.
Forget Russian election meddling. The Chinese are making that look like child's play. Mikhail Thalen reports, according to the DOJ's Office of Public Affairs, 27-year-old Shi Jiaoqun is alleged to have operated on U.S. soil as an illegal agent of the People's Republic of China. A criminal complaint and affidavit filed in U.S. District Court says Xi was directed by a high-level intelligence officer from China and tasked with obtaining information on individuals to help aid possible recruitment. The 8 individuals included Chinese nationals who were working as engineers and scientists in the United States, some of whom were U.S. defense contractors, the DOJ says, citing the complaint. As a republic, we are reaching a point of no return. We must decide to defend our disintegrating freedoms or watch them be devoured by the technocracy. John Bowne reporting.